We should be going. And we live, baby. Welcome to the According Sources podcast. I'm your host, Andre Williams. It has been a very, very long time since we've done the podcast. It's been spring break for my kids, so that means a spring break for me as well. But we back, and I think we have all of the games pretty much sold up now, the ones that we care about in the playoffs. But I think the first thing we should talk about, history was made today. Again, your boy, triple double, back to back years. Stat pattern. What you got? What you breathing hard over there for already, man? Like we really just started, and you over there breathing all hard. What you breathing hard about?
I, I guess, yeah, he did it. Congratulations. Nobody else has done it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What you hating for? What is your problem with what just happened, man? Explain to me, because it seems like you have some serious issues with what's going on with Russell Westbrook. I want you to explain to me
I
what.
love Russ.
Okay.
I love him as a player. When I create myself on 2K, I create myself to be the embodiment of Russell Westbrook. If I'm a point guard, if I'm a small forward, I'm 7'1" with a wingspan of the earth, and I could just bang on niggas all day long. But I digress. That shit that he be doing.
What you mean that shit he be doing? What
Listen,
is he
man,
what does he be doing?
it don't translate to wins to me. It really
Okay,
doesn't. If
okay,
he was
I
that
don't
good,
disagree,
if he
but
was
continue.
that good, and all that shit was great, that team would be a number one seed. We all had expectations for them this year when they got PG and they got
We
Melo.
did.
Now, if somebody was to tell, say I went away, say I went away and I wasn't watching sports. Let's say I was on deployment and I went away and I came back at the end of the season and I read the first headline was Russ got a triple double. Okay, I believe it. He had Melo and he had PG on his team. Bet he went out there and shook up the world. What's a seed? One or two? Oh, it's not one or two. Russ is being Russ. He's stat padding. And that's not me hating. That's not me disrespecting, dude. I'm just telling you like it is.
So you
Boxing
gonna sit
out your
here
own
and tell me
teammates.
that you telling
You
it how
wide
it
open to
is?
take a shot, and you see somebody else covered by somebody, and you pass it to them to take a three, just so you can get your assist. I know what's going on. I'm not stupid.
Okay. I don't, I don't think that we could say that he's out here stat padding. Maybe in this game in particular, in these
He's
last few
doing it
games,
on purpose, Dre.
these last few games, yeah, because he's getting close to averaging the triple double for a second consecutive season. So if he was actively going out there and going for those rebounds, great. I don't blame him, but I would be doing the same thing too, because that's history. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the wins and losses and things that you said, I do agree with that. I don't think that the way that he plays translates well to winning consistently. But I don't think that the going after rebounds is the reason why it doesn't translate. I just don't think that what he does translates to winning just yet. I don't think they found a good blend of people to put around him to maximize what
So what else
he's
is it
able
gonna
to do.
take, Dre? Two
Man,
more
I
All
don't.
Stars?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to take two more All Stars. I don't even know if he needs two All Stars. Maybe just one. I think Melo may have been a wasted pickup that could have been better used to solidify other positions on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose Roberson, it doesn't hurt you as much as it's going to hurt them, and as much as it has. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge Russell Westbrook fan, but I don't think that I mean, come on, he's going after rebounds. There's a lot worse things you could be doing to stat. It's not like he's Ricky Davis,
Well, no, not so much the rebounding
sh-
part, not at all,
shooting at his
because
own rim to get a rebound for a triple double. Like people are talking about it like it's like that, and it's not really like that. That's not what it is.
something like it.
Ricky Davis literally shot at his own rim and missed a rebound. I don't like that's not what Russ is out here doing. Russ isn't doing that.
Who's Ricky Davis?
Oh no, you didn't.
Man, get out of here, man.
No, you're banned.
Sick of your shit, Chris. We already started. I'm already sick of your
You
shit.
mean Ricky Davis since Clippers days?
Ricky Davis when he was on the Cavs with
When
LeBron.
he's on the Cavs, yeah. He I don't know if he was on the Cavs when he did it. It might have been Boston or somebody because he played like every team in the league.
Yeah.
But he went up. He was one rebound away from a triple double. He shot the ball at his own rim and missed it and tried to grab a rebound. They didn't give him the rebound for it because it was some bullshit. But he definitely tried to do it. We're on the trajectory of the conversation I wanted to have because I think we should keep this one short and sweet because y'all want me to start at 10:30 because I'm on Eastern time and y'all on Central, motherfuckers. We're on the trajectory here to talk about what I want to talk about. So let's start with the lower level awards because I want to get you guys awards for the year. The first award, Coach of the Year. Devin, who do you got?
My coach of the year is the brother from Toronto.
Okay,
Dwayne Casey.
I say you don't know his name. You just know he's
Dwayne. I always want to say.
You just call him Danny Glover.
I always want to say Gary Casey. I don't know where I be getting that shit from.
Is
But yeah,
Dwayne Casey. Why do you got Dwayne Casey as your?
Well, first because Kyle Lowry was out for the early parts of the season, and I like the way that Dwayne Casey develops his players, even some of these guys on the bench, and they've been consistently one of the top teams in the East. They have the number 1 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's enough for me, especially being in the East, especially dealing with like Boston when they were all healthy, and at the same time dealing with that enigmatic Cavs team. It was between him and oh my god, what's his name? Mike D'Antoni. I feel like Dwayne Casey did more with less than Mike D'Antoni.
Okay, Chris, who do you have as your coach of the year?
You know, I feel like Pop could win it every year. You play almost your entire season without a top 5 NBA player. You still make it to the 7th seed of the playoffs. You know, that's something to be recognized. But I think what Alvin Gentry is doing over New Orleans is really something that people are just letting fly under the radar. I mean, you lose arguably a second option, the first option in any other team, and then somehow you still manage to get a high seed in the playoffs.
Needed them to lose and miss the playoffs, man.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it? But Anthony Davis just would not allow that to be the case. It was
Motherfucker wouldn't die.
I mean, didn't Anthony Davis go for like, what, 50, 30, and not 50, 50, 20, and like 15, like 3 straight times? About a month and a half
ago. I seen that nigga put up numbers.
Crazy.
Will Chamberlain numbers.
Bro, video game numbers for a straight month and a half. And we're just like, okay, he's an MVP candidate. And,
side note.
I really do think that Anthony Davis, he really could be up there with KD and LeBron. But I don't think he gets a notoriety because, I mean, he's in New Orleans,
Yeah, you don't get a lot of wins there. That's part of the thing.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it too, just the winning part. Because next year, there's not going to be any of that, like, he plays in New Orleans shit. He's good. He's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Side note, speaking of video game numbers, Dre, you still got 2K18 on Xbox? What's good?
No, I'm on Xbox. Boy, you know I don't play on damn Xbox.
Well, what games you got on Xbox?
I have nothing on Xbox. You should be like
you shouldn't either.
I think you should be happy I have one. I mean, I got the Division. I have this is something we can talk about afterwards. I got a couple games, but I don't have 2K.
Ship them to me.
Nah, they all digital. They all digital.
Damn it!
I don't do physical copies. I've joined the New World Order.
Nigga, such a bougie ass.
I'm sorry, I don't have time for things that can be broken. Yeah,
who's your coach, Dre?
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder from
Utah. Yes. You lose.
I could get with that.
You lose Gordon Hayward, and you still manage to get that team to where it is right now. Yeah, I got to
Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert's been gone for extended periods of time.
Not just still get them to where they're at, but get them to a 3 seed.
A 3 seed.
Yeah.
Your best player is a rookie, and it's a lot of stuff going on over there in Utah, and I think he's done a ridiculous job coaching that team and keeping them together for as long as he has.
That's what I like. See, and I like it because I like that pick. I could definitely get with that. I like coaches that can develop, and this is kind of like underlying. Most people forget, but their first round pick a few years ago was Dante Exum.
Yeah, he tore his
He tore his
ACL.
ACL, and it was the same year where they had Dante Exum and Trey Burke. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be paired up and be great together, but it just didn't work
It
for
didn't
Trey
work.
Burke because
Yeah,
nobody pair with him. Now he's playing better, but Dante Exum was basically forgotten about. Now he's perfect in that system, and he made the most of the trade where they got Crowder from
yeah,
Cleveland, and he hasn't playing great. So yeah, he would definitely be deserving of it as well.
yeah. And Joe Ingles is out there having multiple best years of his career. I
Yeah,
mean, Quinn Snyder
Yeah.
is just a ridiculous goddamn coach. I hated him when he was in Missouri because I'm in a lie now, so you know he wasn't my favorite person in the world. But I mean, he's a hell of a coach, man. Ain't too much you can say about that. So we can move on. We can move on. We got our picks. We got our picks. Move on to the next one. Most improved player.
Victor Oladipo.
I mean, I don't think. I think this might be a clean sweep. Victor Oladipo for me too. I gotta go Victor Oladipo here. I have to. Chris, you do you have someone else?
I mean,
I don't even know what it.
no, I really don't. And besides Kawhi and Gordon Hayward, like increasing their point totals year by year, the way they did it, like multiple times. I mean, Oladipo did the same thing. And it just
You
goes.
know why?
It
You
just
know
goes
why,
to
don't
show
you?
you. Of he
You
said
know
it
why?
himself. Of course, Russell Westbrook.
Tell
I
him why.
mean,
No, no,
Say it.
no,
dominant
no, 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 no,
dominant
no.
two guards
Absolutely
just
not.
cannot play without
No.
dominant two guards cannot play with Russ. Look at James
I'm
Harden.
saying, do you know why he's playing this well?
Why?
Who is he messing around with? Who is girl?
Oh,
Word?
they're not together.
Who
It
was
don't
his
matter. He
girl?
touched it.
That was his girl for like
Oh,
that was his girl for like a week. He was doing good without her.
no, he was not.
Y'all gonna stop
He
bringing
got her this
what,
year,
what's her name?
and
I forgot.
everything.
What's
Bria
her name?
Miles
Bria
got her
Miles.
this year, and
Overrated.
everything came together for him. I
And
understand
that
it 100%.
you owe that to Bria Miles. Oh man, that's
What'd you say?
crazy. And
What'd you say?
you owe that to Bria Miles.
Hell yeah! You see that thing?
Is it?
Yeah,
Here you go.
Crazy.
All right,
Here you
yeah.
go with your shit.
here you
I'm
go. Here
just
you go.
saying.
You don't know who
I've
Ricky Davis is, and she
I've
eyes.
seen
All right,
better.
all right, all right. Okay, that was a clean sweep. I don't think
Brick
anybody
City.
needs to
Damn, that boy good.
talk about that much. We all got Victor for that, and I think the season he's having is ridiculous. You lose
Crazy.
PG, you know what I'm saying? And people are really expecting your team to be a lottery team this year, and you go in and do what he's done. It's outstanding. He's been great. So yeah, he should definitely get the most improved player this year. Next, rookie of the year.
Man, I would have to say Donovan Mitchell.
Really? Why you say Donovan? Because
I
of
would have to say
his
Donovan
hoodies.
Mitchell.
His
Because
hoodie game is
no,
better
Ben
than
Simmons is the best, but I would say Donovan Mitchell.
why?
Why?
You still you still haven't given me a reason why you think it's Donovan Mitchell. Devin? Devin is gone muted.
I'm here.
Okay, Devin isn't muted. Why do you say Donovan Mitchell? Devin is not talking.
He did more with less.
You think so?
I think so.
Before the season started, what was everybody saying about Philadelphia? It's crapping all over them. They weren't going to do this. They weren't going to do that. And I mean, okay, how long have they been without Embiid? How long have they been without Embiid? It's been about what, 10 games?
A little bit, yeah. I think about 10 games.
I yeah, I think so. Yeah.
About 10 games, and they still have
Just
this win
ramming through
streak.
people.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not just beating people. I think they have the highest win, like the point differential for wins. When they win, they beating the hell out of people. And this is like a 16 game win streak that they're on. I mean, dude, I don't have any problem with it being Donovan Mitchell, but I just think that I think Ben Simmons should probably get it. I think that he's probably been the
See,
best
that's the
rookie
thing,
this year.
dude. It's like I know that Ben Simmons deserves it, but I just want Donovan Mitchell to get that credit. You know what I'm saying? Because the kid has been phenomenal, and he wasn't even supposed. Like I don't remember seeing him on anybody's,
No, man,
preseason
he
boards.
really came out of nowhere with this.
So
I told
that's
Donovan Mitchell 6'3".
Something like that, 6'3", 6'4".
I feel like he's bigger than that.
I mean, he looks like Marcus Smart. Like he's built like that, like a running back.
Yeah, but he's a shooting guard, right?
Yeah, he's a shooting guard.
That's a small
Shooting
guard.
guard, point guard. I think he handles the ball a lot more than a regular shooting guard does. So he's probably just like the point guard by default.
Kind of like how D Wade was in his early years, right?
Yeah, like that. Who do you
Man.
have? Who do you have as the rookie of the year this year, Chris?
You know, the funny part is when Donovan Mitchell was wearing that hoodie with the rookie of definition, I think he's only proven the more points of why Ben Simmons should win the award. I mean, the definition of a rookie is a member of the athletic team in his first full season. This has been Simmons' first full season. And when your excuse of why he shouldn't win it is because he's not a rookie, you're only, proving why he should win it. Ben
I
Simmons,
agree. I mean, go ahead.
Ben Simmons is only the second rookie ever to score 1,200 points, 600 assists, and 600 rebounds.
Oh, nigga, you coming
Ever.
up with some LeBron
Second.
stats.
I think I think he's like one of only like 3 or 4 people that has ever like maybe 5 average 16, 8.
Yeah, that too.
Like that hasn't happened a lot, and I think only LeBron has only maybe done it once, maybe once. I mean, I think Wilt did it like 25 million times, but you got to throw all the Wilt stats out of the window because he's ridiculous. But I think between the two, you can go either way. You can go either or, and I don't think you would get like a huge argument out of any person. And I like the little social media beef that they have going on right now. I think that shit is hilarious. I think it's funny as hell. I love it. I'm loving the hoodies. I think the hoodies are great. I love what
Wait, so
Simmons
Ben
is
has
saying.
one too?
No, I'm
No.
just talking. No, what's the name? Has 2 hoodies. He has the one where he's talking about that just says rookie. Then he has another one that has a definition of rookie, and I love them both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love them both, and I love what Ben Simmons is saying and response to it.
He doesn't care.
I like that kind of back and forth. I think that's good for the league, and I like that those 2 guys are not afraid to speak about each other. So either one of those dudes gets it, and I'll be happy with it. I'll be happy with that. Next is the big one. MVP.
We've got 6 man.
Do we really have to say 6 man? I think we all got that one consensus as well.
6 man. Yeah. Who gets it?
Lou Williams.
Yeah, Lou Williams. Yeah,
Eric Gordon in a close second.
I give it to Lou Williams because I mean, the Clippers. The Clippers. They lost all of those people, and they were still in the playoff race up until the last week of the season. And it's pretty much all because of Lou Williams. It's pretty much all because of him. He was going crazy. Didn't he have a 50-plus game against the Warriors?
Yeah,
earlier in the season, and it was like a couple 40-point games. Like Lou Williams is going crazy. That's South Gwinnett's own Lou Williams. I messes with Lou Williams. He comes down here every year and does a basketball camp. So I rock with Lou Williams. Now we can get to the big one. Devin, who is your MVP this year?
LeBron James.
Oh my God!
LeBron
Really?
James.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
LeBron
Is it a joke?
James.
Is it a joke?
LeBron Raymond James, a.k.a. the son of Charles Oakley. Y'all seen that picture?
Yeah, he looks just like
Yeah.
Oak Tree.
Hey,
I
bro,
mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't care what nobody say.
The Oak Tree is his father.
Oakley,
They even got the
Oakley took
they
an
even got
L
the
when he
same
posted
hairline.
that picture.
They even got the same hairline, yo.
Michael probably hit him like, "Hey, if I was you, I'd take that picture down." Oh, nigga, too late.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows now.
Oh God! I was looking at that picture. I said, "Hey, wait a minute."
No, but seriously, you cannot possibly have LeBron James as your MVP this year.
Why not?
You cannot seriously. Because what do you mean? Why not?
Why not?
What is he, a four seed in the
What that
East?
mean?
Exactly.
Shit.
Please let me know.
What that mean?
What does it mean? That means his team underperformed, and it's not
Shit.
like he didn't have any part in it. He had
Justin
the
told
worst.
me James Harden got Chris Paul. It'd make his job easier.
I don't give a damn what that has to do with anything. What does that have to do with anything? Please explain to me what that has to do with anything.
I give it to
don't give a
Anthony
damn.
Davis before I give it to
No,
James Harden.
no, James Harden. His team has 66 wins this year.
What that got to
65
do?
wins.
What that got? Listen,
What do you mean?
Dre, we all know all it means in the second round exit. Maybe a first round exit. You never know.
The MVP has nothing to do with the playoffs. This is about the regular season.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. The Timberwolves. I don't know. They might give it to Houston. I can't.
No, they're not.
Who's gonna stop Cat?
not after that performance tonight.
No, they're not.
That's tonight.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
It's possible.
They're absolutely not going to beat Houston. It's a foregone conclusion.
It's possible.
But you have
never know.
LeBron James as the MVP this year.
No.
I was like, come on, man.
I got James, but I got James Harden. I mean, excuse me, because you got to be precise. But
yeah, you can't say James because it's automatically LeBron.
So you telling me if LeBron would have been a 1 or a 2 seed, would he have been the MVP?
No, I'd have gave it to James Harden.
Oh, nigga, see that? Then it don't mean nothing in the first place.
It does because he's in the West. He has 65 wins, and he's putting up the numbers that he's putting up. The MVP is about performance and narrative. He has both. He has both.
LeBron got more points.
This year. He's played more games. He's had to play more time. But that's why you break it down. You break all. Yes, it is. It's because his team isn't good. That's why he's had to play as much. James Harden, this is the same thing that happened with Steph, where you don't play fourth quarters, you don't play all these games, and then it's like you have to look at the other stuff. You can't just look at the fact that he's got more points. James Harden is averaging more points per game for a reason, because he scores more. LeBron just has to play more because his team isn't good. And then he didn't play well at all in January. He took an entire month off. I don't see James Harden take anything off. LeBron had the worst the worst plus minus of his career for a month in the January of this year. And you want to give him
worst defensive rating,
the worst everything in that January, and you want to give him the MVP? No.
And despite that, like in true MVP fashion, he still came back. He had a great February.
No, that's
March.
not an MVP. An MVP plays well all throughout the season. There are no dips.
No.
Yes.
The reason you are an MVP is because you fight through adversity.
No, but the problem is that most MVPs don't have to deal with all the damn diversity where you playing with 18 different teams.
He got a better 3-point percentage than James Harden.
All that's well and good, but does he have more wins on his team than James Harden?
He got more triple doubles.
He has more teammates than James Harden this year too.
What? Is you crazy?
I mean, that ain't got nothing to do with it. But
LeBron James has 2 separate teams this year, and we want to give him the MVP. Like, he's devoid of being part of the problem.
Exactly, and that's why he's the MVP, because he still made it work. He still played great.
He was part of the problem. That's why it had to be 2 separate teams. He was not playing. Are you telling me LeBron James?
If that's the case, then Chris Paul should be the MVP.
What? Chris Paul didn't even play half the goddamn games this season. He was constantly out.
But when he was playing, James Harden looked way better.
Everybody's gonna look better when you're playing with Chris Paul. What the hell is the point of that?
But he makes everybody else around him better.
He's doing the exact same thing that he's done for the last 3 years. The only difference is there's more team success. That's the only difference. There's no other difference. I mean, I understand that LeBron is awesome. We all want to say LeBron is awesome. He is awesome. But, man, come on, man. It was an entire month where the dude didn't play. I don't want to hear shit about LeBron. He's not the MVP.
Yankees won. I just had to put that out there. Sorry.
An entire month where he did not play. He did not try because he's out. They were out there getting rid of the players on the team that they didn't want to play with anymore. I don't want to hear about LeBron. LeBron has had a great season, but James Harden has had a better one. To me,
Yeah, I'll give it to James. I'll let him have it.
I love him. You're doing him a favor.
you don't let him have it.
First of all, I thought James should have been the MVP last year.
Last year, yeah, you know what I did too. But I mean, I told you the MVP is narrative plus performance, and Russ had the narrative and the performance. James didn't have that. This year, he has all of these moments. It's like a collection of moments when you're getting the MVP, and he didn't have the collection of moments that Russ had last year. Russ was hitting all kinds of clutch fucking shots and all kinds of shit that Russ was doing, man. You just didn't see that with James last year, even though he had the performance, he just didn't have the narrative.
Who you got, Chris?
I don't know. It's not time.
He about to say his ass is about to say Andre Ingram.
I mean, 19 points and rookie debut, 32. That's something that's not in the marvel of, That's real good.
Yeah,
but it was great, and the way he was staring down his shot.
Yeah, that dude was awesome. I hope he stays.
Me too, but I don't know, man. At one point, it was like James Harden was running away, and then like LeBron is LeBron. He can win it almost every year. I mean, I don't think we ever had a player that could literally win it every year.
Yeah, we have. His name was Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, man. When he started winning MVPs,
not to the extent of LeBron, man.
How so? From 1989.
Let's not do this, Dre.
Into 1998, he could have literally won every single one of them.
And LeBron could have won every single championship for the last 12 years.
No, but LeBron didn't deserve to win every MVP because his teams weren't always the best.
So the trophy's called the MVP. So does it really matter if you're the best player? Does it?
It does.
I mean, no, it doesn't.
You said the MVP. Yeah, it does matter if your team is the best team. Or you have to have a collection of moments and have average a triple-double. Every other time someone has won an MVP, go back and see what their record was in the league. I guarantee you'll say, oh, for the most part, they've always had the best record in the league. Like, just about always.
Did Russ have the best record in the league last year?
I said except for that one. That is one of the very rare exceptions, but he averaged a triple-double that year.
So? Harden was on one rebound behind, I think.
But he didn't average a triple-double. I said the narrative. He did not have the narrative.
One rebound. It's crazy.
It does matter because now you can't say he averaged a triple-double. You can't say it. And it wasn't one rebound. It was two. I think he averaged 8.7 or something like that. So it wasn't that.
Round it up.
I understand what you're saying. But yeah, your team wins do matter. They matter. They matter. Okay. You can't have a 30-win team just because you average 100 points means you're the MVP. Like, it doesn't work that way either. Like, you have to, your team has to perform. Otherwise, what the hell the usage you have in the wins? Or the stats. Like, your stats have to mean something. They can't be meaningless. And then you think about what Russ did last year. They had just lost KD. They were talking about them not even making the playoffs, and then not only do they make the playoffs, they win like 45 or 50 some odd games, and he averages a triple-double. Like, yeah, that's MVP season. That's a storyline. So your wins do matter for the most part, but when you average a triple-double under those circumstances, yeah, you're gonna get the MVP.
So are you saying since you have a triple-double this year, should you win it this year?
No, because that team is underperforming.
See, now you're changing the script. You can't flip the script.
No, I'm not. I said the team is underperforming. It's still about
so averaging a triple-double and the team not being as good as it was last year. That's the connotation for them not to win.
The team is exactly the same as it was last year, and they added 2 all-star players. So what the hell is the triple-doubles doing? It's not really doing that much this year because you're doing the exact same thing as you did last year with more talent.
So you're saying this? So you're saying that it's not as validated?
Now this year, no, it's not as. I mean, the triple doubles are still very, very, very impressive. Averaging a triple double for a season is absolutely ridiculous. It's super impressive. But when you came into the season, did you expect for this team to have the same record as the team that they had last year? Did you expect that?
No,
That's
I think
why.
I had
That's why he's
at the
not the
beginning of the
MVP.
season. I think I had them coming out the West actually.
Yeah, if they would have won the West and he was averaging a triple double, guess what? He's MVP, and it doesn't matter what the hell what's the name is over there doing. But they didn't win the West. They damn near didn't make the playoffs, and he averaged a triple double. Great, it's singular.
Go
It's
there.
great for him. That doesn't make him an MVP. Like it's a whole bunch of factors that go into being an MVP. He didn't have the storyline this year. He just had to, but he definitely had the performance. You got to have both. James had both this year. Guys
So
generally have both when they win.
I got one question for you since we just talked about this. So you're saying there's only really two people that can win an MVP every single year they play basketball. That was Jordan and LeBron, right?
Now, for the last few years, it's pretty much been LeBron for the last, I don't know, 10 years. He could have won it every year. He could
So you're
have,
saying
but
Kobe couldn't have won it every year though?
I don't think Kobe could have won it
Mm,
every year. No.
no, I don't think so because
Like one of
he
those
was he
years,
was at a tight place where where you had like the machine that was the
the
Phoenix
Phoenix
Suns, and
Suns
they were giving
going
all the credit to
to Steve
Steve
Nash.
Nash.
Yeah.
Steve Nash had the performance and the narrative. Kobe just had performance. That's why he only won
The
one.
one that Kobe won, he was that was the one he was most deserving of. The other ones, like in the debate, I don't think that. I
I
think they
think
went to the right person.
I think he could have won one of those Steve Nash MVPs, but he didn't, and that's cool. Like I have no problem with them, but I think he could have won one of them. I mean, I would have been upset at it. Just like I felt like Shaq could have won one of those Steve Nash MVPs. He didn't, and that's fine. Like it happens. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like it's a lot of things that go into it. It's not like it's this one thing that goes to get you the MVP. It's a lot of things that go into getting the MVP. But generally, your team has to perform well, and you have to perform well. There's a lot of guys that get stats on empty ass teams. They're not an MVP.
That's true as well.
But shit happens. It definitely happens. I think LeBron. I mean, the idea that LeBron should have won every MVP for the last 10 years because that storyline that come out that he felt like he should have won them for like the last 10 years. I think that's trash. I don't think he deserved to win
That's
it the
not true at
year.
all. Because the one that Steph won,
The one that
no,
Steph won, the two that Steph won, Steph deserved them. The
no. Wait a minute.
the
Wait a
two that
minute.
Steph won, he deserved them.
The one of them that Steph won wasn't. I forgot what year that was, but wasn't there like a thing between him, James, and Russ? There was a debate about those
Yeah,
three.
it was about those three, but the Warriors had the best record in the league.
That's the year
Again,
it was. I couldn't
yeah, they
remember.
had the best
I
record
couldn't
in the
remember
league.
if it was the year they had the best record or
I
not.
mean, they've had
Yep.
the best record in the league besides this year for the last like 4 years. So, yeah, it is what it is. That was just one of those weird years. But I mean, I don't think LeBron should have won the year. Either the 2 years that Steph won. I don't think he could have won the year KD won. He didn't deserve to win it the year that Derrick Rose won. So what are the years is he saying he didn't deserve to win it the year that, I mean, every year that the people who won MVP, I think they deserved it that year. Do you guys feel differently?
Definitely not the one that Derek won.
Definitely not the one Derrick won. I mean, the Bulls had the best record in the East that year, and
I forgot who came in second.
Dwight.
That's who it was. Dwight. It was Dwight
He
Howard.
was.
And
He said he
Dwight
was
and
mad
them.
about that. He was mad that he came in third. I don't trust that shit anyway. I think that's just Windhorst talking. I don't believe LeBron is that fucking petty.
LeBron is strategic in that shit that he says. If he wants to relay that, he'll say it himself. Windhorst is just a fucking. He's an idiot.
You just be talking. You just be saying shit. I don't subscribe to Windhorst. I don't. I mean, I thought that LeBron had kicked him out of this little inner circle a while ago. Anyway, so how does he get privy to all this information about LeBron's thinking? I don't understand how he does it. of all the people. Uh, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I wanted to just get a pod out, and I definitely wanted to talk about these awards. Is there anything else? I thought you had some stuff that you want to talk about, Chris. What you want to talk about, Chris?
Well, a couple days ago, Jimmy Butler came out and said the T Wolves need to play harder and
Oh yeah,
calling out their poor display of
God,
effort.
he's so fucking full of shit. I'm
Oh my
sorry,
God.
man. Like he like you. I know who he's probably. He's probably talking about Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins play hard every night, and they can't say shit about dude because he's durable as ever. He doesn't really miss a lot of games. Just because he's laid back, that doesn't mean that he don't play hard.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that's the same thing he was probably meaning when he tried to start a fight in practice with D Rose. Derek don't talk. That's his personality. But you can't say Derek takes plays off. Like, he plays hard.
There's some people that aren't vocal leaders, and I think that was the thing with Derek. Derek isn't a vocal leader. He's I'm going to go out there and show you. He's that kind of guy. I mean, he's not a leader at all anymore because he's just not a good basketball player. But when he was a good basketball player,
take it back.
Huh?
Take it back right now. Take it
nah,
back.
man, he's not good anymore, man. It pains me to say it, and I've been saying it for a while now. He's not good anymore. Like, I'm just going to enjoy the last few games I can get to enjoy watching him play until nobody gives him a contract anymore because he's not conducive to winning in the NBA at this point in his career. So it sucks, but it's the truth.
I'm thinking about the cry, man.
Man,
some throw tears.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of saying bad things about Derek, but he's not. I mean, you saw the way he was playing tonight, or did you? I don't know if you were watching the game, but you saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, for a little bit, man, he was kind of, he just looked off.
Yeah, defensively, he doesn't look like he knows what the hell he's doing.
Exactly, and there was a fast break.
If he does, go ahead.
There was a fast break where he had to clear. I mean, the clear beat on Jokic. There was no way he was going to catch him. And then you could see, like, right when he got to the three-point line, Jokic was probably about 2 or 3 steps behind him. And you could see Derek you literally could watch it happen where he was just second-guessing himself.
Yeah,
it looked like he was going to go up and dunk, and he slowed down at the last second. He barely made the layup. It went in. But you could tell, like, hey, whoa. If you would have took a half a step slower, you'd have missed that. You'd have jagged that shot.
He's just gun shy at this point. So, yeah, Derek is done. Jimmy, that's just Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a talker. Jimmy likes hearing himself talk. That's about it. And I don't necessarily like listening to Jimmy talk. So, screw Jimmy. Before we get up out of here, who do you guys have coming out of the East, and who do you have coming out of the West?
Oh, I have Cleveland out of the East.
Of course.
And, I mean, I'm sorry, until I see nothing is telling me that I should change my pick of another Golden State versus Cleveland pick. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel.
Nothing is changing it. I'm sorry. Like, you can show me all that regular season shit.
Yeah.
You could talk about all these players that they got until you can show me that your team is good enough to beat Kevin Durant, Durant, and the rest of these niggas on Golden State. I'm not buying it because nobody has been able to answer my question. People who say that Houston is going to the finals. Nobody can constructively answer my question.
One of the people that they say it was going to be Luke Mbamute, but now that's not going to happen because he's injured.
Nobody exactly. You know where I was going, Dre. Can't nobody answer me and tell me who gonna guard KD. You could put Eric Gordon, or you can't even guard Steph. You could try to contain him, but you can't guard him.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Golden State, you're just hoping that Steph is healthy. That's what you're hoping for.
I ain't worried about that
for all
shit.
the idiots out there saying the Warriors are winning without Steph. Shut up.
No, they don't have a chance. They would not be Houston if Steph is not playing. So they definitely need him to play.
You crazy?
No, they need him. They need him.
KD the man.
He is the man.
KD can't do it all himself.
He can't do it all by himself. And it'll be very difficult for them.
Clay can't get his own shots.
Like
that good. Now, Chris, there you go. That was what was it? I was just about to say. If Clay isn't healthy,
Clay is healthy. There's nothing wrong with Clay.
it all goes apart. Like, is Kerr gonna make it to where, he'll utilize the offense well enough to be like, KD's just gonna be our point guard. We're gonna not put a lot of minutes on Steph in this first round, which they don't really need
Steph
to.
ain't playing in the first round.
He's not playing in the first round?
No,
well, that
they
don't make a difference either way because the nigga's trash anyway.
Yeah, so. They don't need him to play in the first round. They don't. That's why they're gonna let him. He's gonna rest.
Who's the 7th seed? The Spurs.
I don't even know at this point.
Yeah,
but
Spurs
shit! I forgot. I keep thinking. I'm so used to them being the number 1 seed every year.
Spurs.
That I'm so used to the Warriors being the number 1 seed. I keep thinking they're playing the Timberwolves. But
the Spurs are the 7th.
But what's their backup point guard's name?
McCall.
Cook. It's McCall and somebody.
McCall's out. Yeah, Quinn Cook from Duke.
Quinn Cook got game.
Good dude.
Let me tell you right now. Patty Mills got a batch in store for him. Now, if something magically happened where Kawhi's like, I feel better.
Nah, Kawhi ain't coming back. That's dead.
Kawhi going to Cleveland.
Kawhi ain't going to damn Cleveland.
Kawhi ain't going to no damn Cleveland.
What if Cleveland trades on that draft pick? And Kevin Love.
Kawhi.
They still won't get him. They still won't get LeBron to stay. If Kawhi goes to Boston, it's a wrap.
Why would Kawhi go to Boston though?
And then LeBron gonna be like, I think I've worn out my welcome.
All right, so we got another finals with those guys, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Warriors, and who wins?
4-1 Golden State.
No, what's Chris didn't say who he had. Who do you got, Chris?
In the finals?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Houston gets hot, it could be, but then again, D'Antoni's system never works in the playoffs, and James Harden goes Casper. So, I don't know.
Something I thought was really telling about that about Houston is that game that they played against OKC. In the final moments of that game,
Russ was seizing up.
Russ was locking his ass up and
down. Couldn't do nothing.
And Russ ain't no lockdown defender. That's not what Russ does. But he locked his ass up like nobody's business.
That's because they're the same damn size.
Yeah, but what happens as I said all the time, what happens in the playoffs, and that's probably why James Harden has such a hard time in the playoffs, is teams take away your first option. Your first option gets taken away, and you got to have something else that you can bring to the table. And a lot of times it just seems like he doesn't have something else that he can bring to the table. It's like a step back three. Okay. If we take away that step back three, like we know you've been doing it all year, nobody's been able to stop you from taking a step back three. Now, all of a sudden, people are going to be able to stop him from taking a step back three. Now, what do? That was the problem with Russ. Russ was taking away what he wanted to do initially, and he was not adapting to what Russ was making him do. So let's see what happens in the playoffs when teams are basically designing their defense around stopping you from doing that first goddamn thing that you want to do. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see.
But final word, I got probably Cleveland Golden State.
Okay, Cleveland Golden State.
I mean, that is if Toronto don't do nothing,
come on, man. Did you say we talked about it in the last pod about the only way they could beat them is if Kyle Lowry comes to play. And they played Cleveland a couple days after we had that pod, or maybe a week after we had that pod, because he decided that he wanted to go watch Villanova play in the national championship game. And they got their ass beat, and he played terribly. So they don't have a chance in hell. You want to know who does have a chance of beating Cleveland in the playoff series? Is Philly. If Embiid comes back and Embiid is normal, they have a good opportunity to beat them, because that team is ridiculous. Real. They are serious.
It's the death. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they shoot a bunch of threes, and they got a bunch of guys that can shoot. They got a bunch of these European dudes that don't do nothing but shoot threes. Saric, Bellinelli, Ilyasova. It's a whole bunch of this European dudes that don't do nothing but shoot threes, and they run up and down the court, and they got a 7-foot tall point guard. If anybody can do it, it's them. So we'll see. Like that game when they were beating the hell out of Cleveland by having been beating them by, and they let Cleveland come back. If Embiid is playing in that game, they win that game by 30. Yeah, because the thing is they were rushing up and down the court to try to match the pace, and they were winning. You don't have to do that if you got Embiid. Just throw the ball down to Embiid. He slows the game down, and he scores on Tristan Thompson or whoever the hell is playing, Larry Nance Jr., whoever the hell is playing center for Cleveland at that point in time.
Tristan Thompson. Oh, man.
Tristan Kardashian. Yeah. But, yeah.
Last time Tristan Thompson cheated, the Cavaliers won a championship. Not saying, just saying.
LeBron was like, cheat.
He's like cheat like me.
Hey, Dre.
Huh?
Why you mad?
I'm mad because people are actually saying that LeBron James is MVP. It's every year we have this thing. Every year, yo, it happens every year. Where's this push to get LeBron James the MVP? And it doesn't matter what the hell is going on in the NBA. We do this push to give LeBron the MVP, and I'm tired of it. James Harden has been the MVP, and this is not, and it always comes up. You just don't like LeBron. I don't fucking care. None of that has anything to do with this. I don't like James Harden either. So I think those two things cancel each other out. There's nothing that LeBron James has done, and I don't give a damn what's been going on the last 2 months of the season. It doesn't absolve him for how he played in January. It does not absolve him for how his team performed in January. And James Harden's team has been playing. I mean, the trajectory has only gone up. Multiple 10-plus game winning streaks. Like, these are things that you can't ignore because a guy is playing well at the end of the season and gave up on an entire month. Like, I understand that everybody loves LeBron. It's all about LeBron right now, but that dude is not the MVP, and I'm tired of hearing about it. Chris, why are you mad?
You know why I'm mad?
Why are you mad?
Because Eric Reed still doesn't have a job. And it's because he was kneeling all year.
That is definitely why he does not have a job.
Precisely why he doesn't have a job.
It's crazy. Like, he's a young dude, and he's still got a lot more years ahead of him in the league. Like, and he's not a bad player either.
No, it's pretty good.
And another thing, if Johnny Manziel gets a shot in the NFL before Cap does, I don't want to hear anything else from all these. Don't get me started.
No, we don't want to get you started. But I understand what you're saying. But he's probably going to get a shot at a job before Cap does, and that is definitely ridiculous. Definitely ridiculous.
It's a goddamn shame.
Devin, why are you mad?
I'm upset because people aren't putting enough stock into the Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua saga that we're trying to be a part of. Boxing is about to seriously blow up. There are so many talented fighters, so many talented boxing cards that are coming up, and I'm upset with boxing fans, boxing purists, but I'm also upset with these promoters because they're not building it enough. So many boxing purists hated Floyd for so long, but Floyd kept boxing relevant for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And people, obviously Floyd has his own shit with like domestic violence and everything like that. He's a piece of shit for that. But to get people watching, he did his job to the fullest. I'm also mad because I'm getting sick and tired of folks riding Deontay Wilder's coattails. Deontay Wilder he needs to go back to school and get his GED or whatever it is that he needs. Deontay Wilder is dumb.
Oh,
I
shit.
know that his ass is remedial. And whenever he posts anything on social media, I feel like me, as a person of doing diligent work, feel like I have to comment and say, nigga, did you write this or did somebody else write this report? And I'm also mad because Deontay Wilder tried to come at Anthony Joshua sideways. Now, he always talked about he want to keep it to boxing. He ain't talking.
Yeah. What is he talking about?
He tried to say that Deontay Wilder needs to get his African tattoo covered up and stop doing the Black Panther salute. Only real Africans do that. See, this is, again, why that boy is remedial. Anthony Joshua only lives in England. His parents, he's a first-generation, I don't know how you would say it, he's a first-generation person in his family that comes from Great Britain. like how you say here, we're first generation American. His family migrated to England from Nigeria. He can't get more African than that.
Yeah.
And all his clothing, he's African. All he pushes is, black-owned businesses, being pro-black, this and that. Deontay Wilder, come on, you gotta be smarter than that, dog. I know that's hard for you, but
Oh my God.
No, that's hard for me.
Everybody ain't able, as my mama say. But that's what I'm
his
mad
middle
about.
name
That
is
boy is ignorant.
Oluwafemi. I mean, come on now.
You can you apparently his name is longer than that.
Yeah,
It's like
Anthony Oluwafemi.
it's like Olufemi,
Olaseni
some other
Joshua.
shit, Joshua. Like, buddy, African as hell. Come on, fam.
Do your research.
And I can't wait for that fight to happen because I know who I'm picking, and this motherfucker who got an education. So
Well,
that's
man.
what I'm mad about.
This has been the According to Sources podcast. You know where to find us, accordingtosources@gmail.com. If you have questions and you want to leave hate mail for Chris, it's A2 Sources on Twitter, According to Sources on Facebook. We are part of a pretty cool podcasting network where people actually don't do podcasts anymore. But if you want to peruse the we have a lot of podcasts that you can go back and look at and listen to. If you like certain things, music, pop culture, movies, you can do all of that. Comic books, we have all of that. But that's it. Chris, Devin, I'm Dre. This is According to Sources. We out. Peace.
Ray Lewis and Jason Whitlock are getting married.